Shtiebel Wonder Gardeners. It's Rabbi Ben coming to you. Today I am in Los Angeles, California for a rabbinic retreat and connecting to some of my colleagues and learning how to be a better rabbi for you guys. So hopefully I'll learn some stuff that I can bring back to Shtiebel. And I am so excited for our next gathering, which is this Saturday. And we are going to be talking about hesed and gevurah. And chesed and gevurah are two qualities that come to us from something called Kabbalah. And Kabbalah is sort of what's called Jewish mysticism. And mysticism is secret knowledge passed down from teacher to student for generations. And for many generations, this was sort of a secret knowledge, but now in this modern day, we have access to this secret knowledge. And it's a secret knowledge about sort of how the universe works and how God works and what's going on in the universe. So the central teaching of Kabbalah that I'd like to focus on, and which Chesed and Gevurah are part of, is called the Sfirot. And there's a great article here. If you have the time, please read it. www.mydewishlearning.com/article/Sefirot that explains a little bit about what the Sfirot are. But basically, Sfirot are emanations, like things that come out of the God, which is infinite, which is beyond time and beyond space and beyond anything we can know. And these are sort of qualities or energies that come out of that infinite God that we can sort of connect to and that are also a part of us. So this here is a diagram of the Sfirot. So up here is the infinite God beyond time, beyond space. And then the first Sfirah that emanates, that comes out of this is Keter, which is this quality called will. And then Chokhmah and Binah, which are about different kinds of knowledge. And then Chesed and Gevurah, which we're going to be talking about today, which roughly speaking mean love and judgment or strength. And they are seen as sort of being opposites of each other, and both qualities are needed in the world and in a person to be balanced and to have the world or the person or whatever be working in the right way. So chesed is what I like to say, like love without limits. It's being outgoing, it's being social, it's loving everybody and just being merciful, like just letting people get away with things, not judging them, not being big on rules, just being fully pure love, and it's very outgoing sort of energy. Gevurah or din, it means judgment or rigor or strength, and this is about boundaries and about being rigorous and judging and keeping to the rules. And the way I'm painting it, the chesed sounds a lot better than gevurah, but both chesed and gevurah are needed in a person and in the universe. So the Sfirot have also been pictured as being mapped over the human body, and that they're like energy centers in the human body. And Chesed or Gedula is the right hand, Gevurah is the left hand, and Tiferet, which is sort of the balance of the two, is the heart. Now Chesed and Gevurah, and actually a lot of the Sfirot are associated with personalities, people from the Torah. So Chesed is Abraham, who we studied a little bit about last time, the first father of the Jews. He was very outgoing. He loved to invite in guests. That's why we talked about hospitality. And he was very sort of what they would say call extroverted. He would go out and he would just show love to everybody. And his son Isaac is associated with gevurah or din, a judgment. And we see that Isaac speaks very little in the Torah. I don't think of all of the forefathers and foremothers, he's the one who speaks almost the least. And he gets bound by his father, who is told to sacrifice him. So he has some very sort of difficult judgment sort of filled things in his life. And so Abraham is chesed, Isaac is gevurah or din, and then they say that Jacob, Isaac's son, is tiferet, is the balance between the two. And the whole idea is that we have to balance our chesed, our love, with our gevurah, our judgment, in order to be good people, in order to be balanced people. So I'm going to just give you some practical resources now. The texts for this week is at shtiebel.net/texts2. And again, the password is Wonder, WONDER, and that'll take you in. And it says text for Chesed and Gevurah. This first text is about the need for balance between Chesed and Gevurah. A king had some empty goblets. Said the king, if I pour hot water into the goblets, they will burst, and if I pour cold water in them, they will crack. So what did the king do? He mixed hot and cold water together and poured the water into the goblets, and the goblets did not break. Similarly, said the Holy Blessed One, aka God, if I create the world on the basis of mercy alone, and mercy I'm sort of associating with chesed and love, it will be overwhelmed with sin, meaning everybody can just do whatever they want because I'm just going to forgive everybody for everything, and it'll just be pure love. But that means that people will go and do bad things and they won't get punished. And on the basis of justice alone, the world cannot exist, because if you just had justice and everybody's being punished all the time, that would be a bad thing too. So I will create the world with both justice and mercy. That way it will endure. So please read that text. This is din v'rachamim, which is justice and mercy. Rachamim is similar to chesed, but it's a little bit different. But for our purposes, we're associating chesed and rachamim, which means compassion. There are also two diagrams of the sfirot here, and a link to this article on the sfirot from My Jewish Learning. So I encourage you to take a look at that text as well as the article from My Jewish Learning. If you'd like a little bit more than what's in the My Jewish Learning article, there's a very good, very in-depth, maybe a little difficult article on www.learnkabbalah.com /chesed, HESED _gevurah, GEVURAH _and _tiferet, TIFERET. And it's by a friend of mine, Jay Michelson, and it's very, very in-depth. So if you're interested in this topic, please go to this article and read that. Couple of other things. We are encouraging students who are over the second grade, I would say third grade and up, to choose one path, one pathway, one track, and stick with it for a number of sessions, because it really gives us more continuity that way, and you'll get to know the teacher, and the teacher will get to know you, and you'll be able to work on projects over the long term. So if you could, for our next session, choose a pathway and please stick with it. And also, please bring whatever materials that are needed for that pathway. There's a list of materials that we emailed out to parents. So please bring your materials. And that's about it, except for I just want to give everybody a heads up for Hanukkah. We're going to be having a Star Wars Hanukkah celebration on Friday, the 15th of December, and it should be really awesome and fun, and I'll encourage people to come in costume, and we'll have some clips from the Star Wars movies, perhaps, and we'll light the Hanukkah candles, and I may be I may be convinced to tell the true story of Hanukkah, which is about Han Solo and Harry Uka. Get it? Han Uka. And I could maybe even read from my book about Hanukkah Harry, who flies around on a spaceship. With that, I will sign off, and I can't wait to see you all on Saturday. Take care. Have a great week.